Hello, this is autoverse.tech with stage 3 of a customer's journey, migrating Hadoop to GCP. Just to give you a bit of a recap, stage 1 was all about data migration and moving on-premise HDFS resources and data to Google Cloud Storage. Stage 2 was about selecting the appropriate GCP services for the workflows that is required for your environment in GCP. Stage 3 is about putting it all together and creating a migration plan and a flow that will facilitate an easy and successful migration throughout all the environments for your customer, especially production. So our first step here is creating the GCP services in development. So stage 2, you determine what they are. In stage 3, this first step is about creating them. Step 2 is migrating the workflows for each of those services and testing and validating them as you migrate. This can be a considerable amount of work if your customer has decided to go with different services that are outside of the Dataproc, what Dataproc provides. It can be a lot of work. Or if you are staying within Dataproc, it can be very, very simple. But for everything that is migrated, every workflow, every processing unit will need to be tested and validated in this step for each of the services that you are using. Step 3 is really where we start to build our automation scripts, and we take a look at the infrastructure that needs to be created within Google in order to get the job done. So if you are doing anything, any type of creation within your project, it all needs to be scripted within an infrastructure deployment script. And every little tiny thing should be done. Nothing should be left manual. And so everything that you've created within your project and all the other access that you can set within your project should all be included in this infrastructure deployment script. Step 4 is really about creating scripts for your data migration. So we've already migrated our data in development, and hopefully you did that with the use of scripts, some scripts. But now we need to take a look back at the scripts that we've created and our method that we created in stage 1 and develop better scripts that can facilitate the data migration for the rest of the environments for your customer. It needs to be modularized so it can be reused, and the code needs to be written well so that it can handle differences between the environments and still ensure that all data is copied over and verified. So those scripts will also need to be tested and validated as well, an iterative process where you do that again and again. Step 5 is about creating workflow deployment scripts. So this includes starting up Dataproc clusters, running workflows, and shutting things down. It includes automating and all of the workflows and processes that need to be done. So not just the automation of having these processes be done, but the deployment within the environment. Everything needs to be done literally with the press of a button, to be set up properly, to be scheduled properly, to be done right. So initially we do all these scripts for dev, and again, even for these deployment scripts, it's an iterative process. We test and we validate, and we go through that number of times. So once we have created our services, our workflows, we've created all of our automation scripts, it's time to create your migration plan. And the plan is going to include all the steps that you're going to have to take in order to do this from scratch in a fresh new environment. So let's start off with infrastructure deployment, data migration, workflow migration, backup procedures, expected times for each step, expected downtime, if any. Um, Essentially, you're going to be creating a plan to migrate Hadoop to GCP for a fresh new environment. Step 7 is where we use that plan to migrate QA. Step 8 is modify that process. You're going to have errors. You're going to have issues that need to be resolved. You're going to find a better way of doing it, and you're going to you're going to make those changes in step 8. By the time you get to step 9, migrating of UAT, it should be fairly simple and easygoing. And your migration plan should be followed well. It should not have any errors, and it's a great moment to work on coordination within the team. So all the steps has been hardened and tested, but perhaps the one thing that might not go well within UAT is the coordination of everyone working together, or the timings of things, and maybe you don't have the proper timing of things for the data size in UAT, or whatever else. Because we have automated all of the main work and we have scripted it, we can take the time within UAT to perfect the whole migration procedure. So by the time you get to 10, which is migrating prod, you're essentially literally pressing a few buttons. Everyone's done it before. Everyone knows where to be, when, and you can ensure a successful migration. I hope that's helped somebody migrating Hadoop to GCP. It is a lot of work, and this is just one customer's journey. I personally feel every customer is different and every customer needs a different path. Anyways, I hope this has helped. Thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.